Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi.
I'm Jerry, Sports Information Director at Ohio State here. And folks, we have with us today from Montana State, Esmeralda Morales, Mara Dykstra, and Caitlin Martin. And we are going to open the floor up for questions right now. We'll start right down here with Thomas and just keep the microphone until you're done.
Hey everybody, my name is Thomas Costello. I'm with Land Grant Holy Land. You all play a pressing style of defense. Ohio State also plays a pressing style of defense. What have you noticed kind of comparing and contrasting how you all play and what you've seen on the tape for anybody?
Yeah, Ohio State's really good at pressure defense, and I think we are very similar in that way. And it's going to be an all-out battle, especially on the defensive end. So we're just going to take what they give us, try and be controlled and on the offensive end, and then try and speed them up on defense.
Yeah, kind of adding on to that, we know that they like to play up-tempo fast, so do we, like KJ said over there. Just making sure we're not getting sped up offensively by them is going to be something that's super important, playing at our own pace and trying to control what we can control on both ends is just going to be important.
Yeah, I think just capitalize who's going to capitalize with the turnovers, who's going to have less turnovers. Like you said, both team, we love to press, so whoever's going to take the care of the ball more is going to show out there and just play freely.
Do you enjoy the opportunity of playing against a press whenever you probably practice against one every day when you're practicing? Do you look forward to playing another team who plays a similar style?
I mean, presses are hard. It's meant to speed you up. So at the end of the day, I think we're excited for the challenge, and I think we've prepared well enough to know how to attack a press. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, like KJ said, we've been preparing all week. We know they're going to throw a lot at us, and they might change up some looks depending on who they're seeing on the court. So we're just practicing a lot of different ways that we can just, navigate that press.
Yeah, I think for us, we know where the spots. I think we know where we want to trap. So for us on offense, we can't go to those spots like the hot zones or whatever. So just be smarter and just read what they're giving us and just take care of the ball.
Sorry, I missed it. Do I do a name and affiliation?
Please.
Okay, Grace Lawrence, MTN Sports. This is kind of a question for all of you, but you guys were the top dogs all season long, top of the Big Sky, managing the target on your back. How do you now come in, as the underdog, playing on someone's home floor? How are you guys managing kind of expectations going into the game and trying to pull in the upset?
I'll go. We're just free. We can play out there. Like you said, we're top dogs during the season. Now we're not. We're the underdogs, and we love the challenge. We have to go out there and just play us, do us, and just try to get that home streak away. They're 15-0, I think, at home. So for us, it's we love the challenge, and we just love the atmosphere. And to have this opportunity to go out there and do us, it's amazing.
Yeah, kind of adding on to Esme with that, we've had a target on our backs for the whole back end of last year. We had a really good conference play, but, now we have the target on someone else's back, and we're the hunters going for that target now. So we don't really have that, top dog narrative. We're going with the underdog narrative, and we're ready to put up a big fight.
I think our biggest thing is just staying composed and level-headed throughout this whole game, and I think that's going to be our biggest strength is just being able to go in there, play freely, and just enjoy it.
Second question for Esme. I know your first call with Benford, you came here to win a championship. Now that you've won your regular season and your tournament championship, how have you been able to take in the past 24 hours? I'm sure it's something you've dreamed of your whole life to be on this stage.
Yeah, for me, I think I haven't really taken it in, as in we're in March Madness. I think for me, it's just how can we go win this game? How can we stop them? How can we be smarter out there? The small details. So just be out there and be a leader. Especially because we're kind of young at the same time, so I can't show my emotions in that way. So just try to stay composed, but just blessed at the end of the day. At night, I'm wow, I can't believe we're here. But at the end of the day, I just have to be out there, be a point guard, and be a leader.
Awesome Bar, SWX Montana. For all you guys, obviously they haven't lost on their home floor this year. How much do you channel that FGCU win, the winning streak that you guys ended earlier in the season? How much do you channel that going into this game?
I think it starts with our mentality of staying focused. I think that game throughout shoot-around, throughout our practice that week, we were really prepared and really locked in. and I think that gave us the ability to just kind of stay composed during the FGCU win. But I think that goes the same thing here. We just want to stay locked in, stay with a focused attitude, mentality, and at the end of the day, we just want to let it come naturally, let the game just come to us, and whatever the outcome is, we're just going to know we worked our butts off for it.
Kind of adding on to KJ with that, FGCU was big for us with our mentality being like road warriors. Like that was something we really embodied, and that was our goal throughout the season. Like just making sure we're as practiced, predictable, and executing as well on our home floor as we do on the road. So I think FGCU was a good testament to that, and we're hoping to bring that energy to our next game.
Yeah, I think it's just hard to win on the road. It showed all season. It's just different, but for us, like we just love the challenge. And then out there, we just have to, the small details, we have to take care of the ball. And just to have this opportunity, it's just going to be fun. Like we don't have the world on us. Like we're underdogs, and we like that.
And then just one more follow-up, just for all of you. Sunday was a lot of excitement. You talked about how excited you were just to be in this moment. But now that you're here, how does the mentality kind of change now that you're here in Ohio?
Yeah, we want to go win. It's like 1-0, the same mentality we're going throughout the season, just 1-0. And we're underdogs now, so it's like, let's go. Like, we don't have to have the pressure as in, like, we have to win this, we have to win this. No. Like, we can go out there and just have fun.
Hi, Victor Flores, 406 Empty Sports. For Esme specifically, their press, their ability to force turnovers, how much have you kind of been focusing on, ball control and keeping possession and just as a team, making sure to try to not turn it over too much in this game?
Yeah, for us, I think the biggest thing is just stay composed. A lot of ball fakes. They're athletic. They're longer than us, but at the end of the day, I've been the shorter one out there. So for me, it's just like I need to go out there and just continue to be me, continue to be the point guard that my team needs me to be, and just be more disciplined and just the details. But at practice, just continue to have fun. I think that's the biggest thing. Once we put like pressure on us, it's like that's not us. So just go out there and just do us.
I'll ask a question for anyone. How your season has prepared you for this moment, the most wins not only in Montana State history, but in Big Sky Conference history. I think a 19-game winning streak. How has that prepared you and boosted your confidence as you're coming into a difficult road game?
Well, I think we know, regardless of our seeding and regardless of, like the underdog narrative, like we know we're meant to be here. Like we've worked super hard this season to be here. Our work has shown throughout the year. So we're not coming in scared. We're coming in with a confident mentality that we want to go out there, prove some people wrong, and win this thing.
I think it just goes to show that we get everyone's best game. I think that has really helped us with just our composure piece and just being able to go out there and execute. So we get it with everyone giving us their best game. I think we just want to go out there and just continue to prove to ourselves, to our coaches, to our team, to our fans, just that we are meant to be here at the end of the day. And like Mara said, we've put in a lot of work to be here. And we're just really grateful for all the teams that we've played because they know that they've prepared us for this moment.
Any other questions? Go ahead, please.
Austin Parr, SWX Montana. KJ, you've been with the program for a long time. Mary, you've been a couple years as well. But what makes this team special compared to maybe some other years?
Just the love we have for each other. I think everyone just really wants the best for each other, and just really excited for that to show tomorrow. And I think it's shown all season long. We've stayed together through the ups and the downs. So just really proud of our team, proud of their commitment to the process, to the grind. And the way that we trust each other is unmatched. I haven't been on a team like it. So really proud of these girls.
Yeah, adding on to that, I think just the gratitude that we show as a team, like for every day we get to spend together. 1-0 every day is our goal. So we're gonna win the day, no matter if that's a practice, a lift, just a shoot around. Our goal is just to win every day, and we're just so grateful for each other as well, and the opportunity to be here, be on this big stage, representing our state, our community, just something that we don't take for granted at all. And so yeah, that gratitude and selflessness that we brought all year, difference maker for sure.
Victor Flores again, 406 Empty Sports. Mara specifically, sorry if this has been asked, but now we have a little bit of time from your shot. I mean, how have you kind of digested? This has been asked.
No, it hasn't.
Okay. But just now that you've had some time to digest it a little bit more. I mean, how do you kind of process it? How do you reflect on that moment?
Well, I feel like it just set us up for, some hype around the tournament. Obviously, the shot went viral, which I wasn't really expecting. That was like a lot of social media attention for a day or two there. But just to have that moment, like, seal the deal for us to go to March was just such a big deal. But honestly, it's in the past for me now. Just really looking forward to this next game. But that's something I won't ever forget. But until the end of the season, I'll just keep pushing forward, and then maybe after I'll look back on it.
Any other questions? All right, Esmeralda, Mara, Caitlin, thank you very much, and all the best tomorrow.
Thank you.
So, folks, the Montana State start early.
I brought Dan for you. Yep.
We'll let the folks get seated. Thank you very much. All right, we will open up the floor for questions for head coach, Tricia Binford. Go ahead, Thomas.
Coach Steve Hellwagon with Bucknuts.com. Ohio State, as you probably reviewed their games. I think they opened 20-1, but just 5-5 here down the stretch. Played some pretty good teams, obviously. Just what's maybe the difference in your mind of what they were maybe able to do earlier that's kind of been a bit struggle for them here at the end?
Well, I think you made a really good comment on the level of opponent that they were playing down the stretch. Obviously, they're in a great conference, great league. And I think the key is going to come down to who takes better care of the basketball, to be quite honest. I think they do a great job of turning teams over, and rebounds and turnover margin are going to be a factor.
Victor Flores, 406 MT Sports. How would you kind of compare and contrast your press and the one they have as well?
Yeah, it's a great question. Their pressure on made baskets is a little bit different. There's some zone concepts, there's some man concepts, and I think you have to be prepared to the fact that their pressure is never going to stop. They're going to really disrupt a lot of entries. So our ability to take care of the basketball and attack it the right way, fundamentally, is going to be a 40-minute game of fundamentals. And I think for them, they do have great depth to maintain that, and we feel like we also have great depth on our end too.
Thomas Costello, Lanker and Holy Land. Thanks for the time, Coach. Esme said she came to Montana State to work on defense. What have you seen her grow into defensively over her season with you?
Well, first of all, I'll just say she has tremendous instincts. You know, she played 3 years in a 2-3 zone, 2-2-1, and really there's a lot of similar concepts. But when you have great instincts and you're a willing kid, you can learn defense very quickly. And she's got a tremendous IQ. So really, she started getting a lot of steals. I know she finished pretty well in the Big Sky in steals per game, but communicates extremely well. She also has some veterans on the defensive end with our returners who helped her pick those things up quickly, and she probably had it down within the first couple weeks of practice.
And then offensively, how does she set the tone for your team?
Composure, steadiness. You know, she was kind of our missing piece when we had our first phone call. We had a lot of pieces returning. We had a lot of injuries last year. We had a really fantastic freshman class also coming in, but we needed somebody who could put the ball in their hands, be our leader on the floor, and she just brings out the best of everyone.
Coach, 4th NCAA appearance for your school. And just in your mind, what would it mean if you guys are able to come into Ohio State on their court, in their arena, where they haven't lost a game this season, and not only make this a competitive game, but pull it out? What would that mean, I guess, for yourself and the program, I suppose?
Well, it's a tremendous question, and my goal is to get the kids focused on being 9 out of 10 out of their principles and 1-0 tomorrow. And you know, we know it's going to be a challenge, a task at hand. This team is very good on their home floor, but our kids believe in what they bring to the table, and that's all I care about right now is them to play their basketball and to trust their potential and what they bring to the table and make it a great game for the crowd.
Jelani Cambridge, their freshman guard, just a outstanding season for her. Just as you've gone over their games and their tapes, maybe if you could discuss what her impact on a given game can be, I suppose. It seems like she can do a lot of different things.
A lot of different things, and for us, this is more about us not having to guard one player. We've defended as a group all year long, so we just want to focus on our entire team, know where that ball is on the floor. I think you've got a lot of tremendous athletes, a lot of tremendous potential on that side of the floor, and we got to make sure that we're focusing on just as a unit doing our job defensively.
And speaking of defense, you don't always have a freshman win Defensive Player of the Year. What does Taylor do so well that makes her such a potent defender?
Well, she never gets tired. You know, when you think about your gifts and what you bring to the table, and you can do those every possession on the floor, that's Taylor Cherick. The kid has a tremendous motor. She's a cross-country runner. She's a track champion. She's won a lot of state titles, and she's relentless. So for us, she just gets her hands on a lot of basketballs defensively. She's never going to give up. She's going to keep attack-minded, and that's what we want to see from Bobcats tomorrow. You know, we know it's going to be a very loud arena. It's going to be very fulfilled with a lot of white and red, and for us, it's more of what Taylor brings to the table. That's a lot of our heart and soul of who we are as Bobcats, is just making sure we play with great energy.
Austin Parr, SWX Montana. I asked the girls how much they channeled the FGCU win and ending that home streak. They obviously haven't lost on their home floor, so how much do you as a coach kind of channel that win from earlier in the season?
Yeah, I think it's more of a mentality of just road warriors. We've said all year long, defense travels. Offense can come and go as far as being in and out. And if you're going to win championships, you have to be able to win on the road. And they've certainly done that with great veteran leaders for us. We've got great experience, and our other underclassmen have kind of just let them lead. And so that's going to be as important as anything tomorrow.
Big Flores again. I guess on a similar note, Utah, that game, how much have you kind of looked back at that game and taken from that one into this one?
Yeah, I think we've just kind of brought up, obviously, the name on the other jersey, right? So Ohio State, this is the alma mater of June Doherty and Mike Doherty, two of my favorite coaches that had a major influence on me, and it's a big-time program. Kevin McDuff has done a tremendous job here, and what we reflected back on Utah was that was kind of our first kind of big conference game that we had, and then after that game, we watched film before we went to Las Vegas on just really focusing on doing what we do well and getting back to habits. There were a lot of things that we felt like we did internally that we moved the needle in the right direction the following week. So that's what we got to do tomorrow.
Grace Lawrence, MTN Sports. You don't see togetherness on a stat sheet, but it's something that seems so pertinent to this team. So how important is that on the biggest stage and just the trust these women have in one another?
Yeah, it's huge. When you can control your intangibles, right? So there's going to be possessions that we know that we are not going to play a perfect game tomorrow. They're too good at turning teams over, and we're going to have a mistake. We're going to have to get to that next play. We're going to have to get into a huddle and get ourselves to the next play. We're going to have to go to the timeout, get ourselves to next play. And what we can control is what that looks like. We just want to look like a champion in every response, staying together, making sure we're learning from those situations, moving on to the next. And I have no doubt this team will do that.
Parker Cotton with the Bozeman Daily Chronicle. Tricia, can you take us through what sort of drive and motivation you've seen, maybe specifically from your younger players, your sophomores and your freshmen, to come in here and have this kind of opportunity, but just throughout the year to work as hard as they have? Like, what have you seen out of that group specifically that has added so much to this team?
Well, first of all, they're everything we expected them to be. We recruit competitors. I learned that from one of my favorite and best coaches of all time right here that's sitting here. We've recruited competitors, and those three on the freshman stage, those kids came in and have been everything we have expected as far as how they step on the floor. They're going to give you everything that they have, and then you bring in somebody like Esme that we've seen for the last 3 years against us, kind of light us up on our own floor in Big Sky tournaments. And when you know what you're going to get, and then you build a culture around it, it's going to show up every day. But we definitely work at the culture piece. We want to make sure that when we get to January, February, March, that it does not feel like a grind. You want to love the people that you're showing up with, and that's what you see right now. Their energy is tremendous. I couldn't get them out of the gym last night. They were excited about the practice facility. It was phenomenal. It was beautiful. But this group, they want to play a lot more basketball, and they're enjoying playing together.
Austin Parr, SWX Montana. Third trip for you, fourth for the program, but how is this team special compared to maybe some of those other teams?
Well, not going to take anything away from those other teams. They were really special too. And I also do need to make a note of the COVID year. That team was also very, very special that didn't have the opportunity to play in a championship game. What I love about this team is we're super deep. Everybody impacts. This team is very, very selfless. We have a lot of kids coming off the bench that are good enough to be starters, but it works for us in our rotation. And they're just having a lot of fun. I think they're loose. Obviously, I go back to, we know we're on somebody's home floor, and they're very, very good. And at the same time, we get to play basketball tomorrow, and we get to play together for the people that are in that locker room. They love each other.
Victor Flores, 406 Empty Sports again. You mentioned your former coach, Dan Hughes. He's here right now. What is, just this day, last couple of days, and this whole experience been like with him right next to you?
Well, he just got here. So, but when I saw it immediately on ESPN, obviously my husband and my daughter are here too. And but when we saw who we were seated against and where we were heading, it was my first reaction was to grab my phone and text Dan and see what him and Mary are doing Friday night, because he was just in Boise watching just an unbelievable week with us. So, and Dan, he came in during the summer summer. We talked a lot of basketball. He got to self-scout us, gave us a lot of great feedback, and so it's been really fun just to kind of pick his brain as he's watched our team over the course of the season and be able to come here right kind of in his backyard. And also kind of my second backyard. Used to play with the Rockers, so it feels great to be here.
Any other questions? Great, Coach. Thank you very much. All the
Thank
best
you.
tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
Once again, folks, Montana State.